Disclaimer: Fort Madison receives a lot of visitors. Most of them come into town wearing an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. Don't be one of those visitors. Fort Madison is about a 4-hour and 15-minute drive west of Chicago and a 3-hour and 15-minute drive north of St. Louis. Well, what do we have here? It's another Mississippi River town. Fort Madison is one of the oldest settlements in the state of Iowa, as it was founded as a U.S. military fort dating all the way back to 1808. Let's get to it, shall we? We do start things off in Niota, Illinois, which is an unincorporated community in Hancock County. This is yet again another example of a small town that sits in the path of the Mississippi River floodplain, which is why it never grew to be a thriving town and eventually might completely disappear off of the map. The levee that protected this town was destroyed over the years, as flooding events have added up during the town's existence. In 1993, the government tried to force the community to relocate a few miles inland, but the stubborn townspeople refused. Who knows? As time goes on, maybe the only documentation of this small town will be visible on Nostalgia Tour's YouTube channel and Google Street View. Make sure to drop a like for that amazing insight. Oh yes, the rickety Fort Madison toll bridge. Only I didn't have to pay a toll on this day, and I think that was because of the pandemic. That probably had something to do with about the handling of cash, which we all know cash and coins can be some of the dirtiest things that get passed around in society. However, if you are like me and have upgraded your life to using credit and debit cards for all payments before this pandemic started, there is nothing to worry about in that matter to begin with. On the deck below the road, however, are railroad tracks. It's not very often that you see a double-decked bridge outside of major cities. This bridge dates all the way back to 1927 and since 2018 has been closed to semi-trailer traffic. On the left is the former prison in town. It's still owned by the state of Iowa, which pays $1,000 per month to keep the lights on and the property secure. The old prison was built in 1839 and has a very unique look to it. It would be cool if the prison site could eventually be turned into a museum. Apparently, from time to time, you can pay to see a tour of the site. In order to get a view of the east side of the old prison site, I had to take a road that led to nowhere, so I ended up turning around on this street, which is basically a cul-de-sac. However, after I get up the hill and am on my way back down, there is an absolute breathtaking view of the Mississippi River. as we come around this curve, you'll be able to see more angles of the old prison site. And now we go around the west side of the former Iowa State Men's Penitentiary. Inmates were transferred to the new prison beginning on August 1st, 2015. It took the state 5 years to build and open the new facility, which is where we're heading now. The Iowa State Penitentiary is a 550-person maximum security unit. There's also a medium security unit on the site capable of holding up to 169 inmates. If you're visiting Fort Madison, this isn't where you want to be staying for the night, or the month, or the rest of the year, or the rest of your life. Alright, enough of the prison. It's time to check out the actual town of Fort Madison, as there's actually a real community here, not just a prison community. Just like many of the small cities and towns along the Mississippi River in the middle parts of the country, Fort Madison, Iowa is a city on the struggle. In 1960, the town's population peaked at 15,000, whereas today only 10,000 people call Fort Madison home. Fort Madison is one of the two county seats of Lee County, which is very rare to see a county in the U.S. have two county seats. The other county seat is Keokuk, which is another struggling town. You can go ahead and check out that video on my channel. Lee County as a whole has a population of 34,000 people today, which is down from a 1960 peak population of 44,000. It's difficult for isolated rural regions to grow, yet even maintain their populations when companies don't ever set up shop in these locations. A big reason for that is a dwindling number of young professional talent. The percentage of adults 25 and older with at least a bachelor's degree in Fort Madison is a very low 13%. The median household income here is $42,000 per year, and 16% of the townsfolk live in poverty. These numbers are better than nearby Keokuks, but it's still concerning when you think about the future of this town. The public schools here perform around average, however the violent crime rate is twice the national average, and the property crime rate is also above the national average. As I drive through some of the residential blocks that make up the grid layout of the city, you'll see that some blocks appear to look normal while others are starting to look blighted and vacant. You'll see that in any town that has lost 33% of its peak population. At the very end of this street is an interesting looking abandoned house. The cloudy day fits the footage well. And I finished the end parts of this video driving through stretches of streets through the downtown area. Well, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, as doing all of those things helps these videos out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video of an area near you. Also, make sure to check out my playlists featured on my channel that organize all of these cities and towns that I visit by state or by the Mississippi River towns, or however you might want to organize them. I have quite a few different selections, so go ahead and check that out as well if you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. Peace!